This is actually our 1 year now, Willa.
Oh, is it?
This is our bang on 1 year, yeah.
Look at you, splash cunts.
Probably the most requested guests we've had as well.
Oh, by a mile. By a mile.
And,
Oh, is it?
yeah, and we haven't been waiting long for you to come along. But like, at least
Start saying that. Will you don't be bleeding praise me while I'm off thing, like.
It's on anyway.
Get that all again, yeah.
Do you know what else we catch people out with, Willa? People are lying cunts. At least 10 people have came up to us and said, love your episode, Willa. Yeah. They assume we just have it on, like, fucking my favourite episode is when you have it, Willa.
I just go along with them and go daily. And what was your favourite bit about it?
Yeah,
That's what I'd say.
Yeah, shut up.
And they go, because we start the podcast, because this is mad.
It's on, yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Is this how you started? You just started like that? There's no introduction.
Hold on, I'll do
welcome
it.
to the bleeding having us on podcast.
We don't really do that now, because sometimes we just start staring at the telly for ages saying how good the logo looks, and that's not good for anyone.
Let's look at it for a while.
We do this all the time.
I'll tell you one thing, mate. You must have just come out of Bleeding Slim and Wool after that bleeding. That cartoon was done. You're fucking thinner than him, innit?
Yeah.
Seriously, man. You fucking underestimated yourself there.
We had some fella do it, right? I organised the design, and your man said, here it is, and I said...
It's both the same watches on.
Nah, mine's silver, his is gold.
Do you know what the cunt did as well? He got your man to do it and he gave him a watch and not me, and I went...
Because you had a body warmer on, you don't need a watch.
I threw a fit.
He has one watch and his...
He has one watch.
His ex got him the same watch that I have. And
that did happen.
It's a very... it's a touchy subject between us. And she reached out and she said, I want to buy him a watch for Christmas. What watches have you got? And I sent her the picture of all the watches and she said, I actually like that one you have. And then went and bought it.
I love watches, that's...
So I'm big into them.
I've got about 30 or 40 watches.
Yeah.
A lot of them are copies.
Right.
But they're really, really good copies. And sometimes I can't really justify buying... And I've been there a while ago, like, looking at really good watches like Rolexes and stuff like that, and I'm going... When I look at the watch crime in London at the moment, what's happening, and I've seen fellas that have actually been killed for their watches.
Mental, innit?
Come here, I will gladly take a copy of a watch on my wrist and go, here, knock yourself out. And let him think that he's getting something.
Much would you pay for a copy? What would be the most?
Well, it depends on what you're buying. Like, if you're buying a super clone, like, a super clone could cost you between €5,000 and €1,000, like. But they're nearly down to the T. You'd have to bring them into a jeweler and for him to open it up and have a look at the mechanism and the back of it and the way it's done. Do you know what I mean? To tell. But I mean, from look, from weight, and from feel, you'd literally think that you had whatever you're into. I don't know. I like watches with big faces, so I'm not really big on Rolex, but Rolex do a deep sea dweller, which is a 44mm. Which is a big face watch. I don't like small face watches. Right. Do you know what I mean? I got a fella to make me a watch there a while ago. He does Seiko watches, and I actually thought the watch was bigger than what it was. And when I got it, when I collected it, I was like, oh,
the little small face in it. Yeah.
And I haven't even worn it. It's in the gaff in the box. So, come here, look up. Yeah, my dad, God be good to him, always said to me, always wear a nice watch and nice shoes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we done that for years, but the kids were screaming because I had no clothes on.
But you could tell them the
just
time.
Just a watch and shoes, like, do you know what I mean? A pair of Air Max and a Rolex, like. 3 hands, 1, 2, 3, yeah. You know what time it is, kids.
Do you know what? We wanted to give you an intro, Willa. There's so much stuff you do. We were doing the music video with you for Eskimo.
Yeah. That was mad, wasn't it?
That was the first time you proper met in person.
First time we proper met you. And do you know what, as well? In comedy and all, you just see people say, like, people aren't nice or whatever. Some people aren't. You seen us straight away, and we texted you before, and you walked over straight away. What's the story, lads? And we were like, that's a fucking legend from the get-go, like.
Yeah. Come here, look, I always treat people how I'd like to be treated. Yeah. And I think when you meet people, even like the likes of yourselves, like, that are, trying to make the way in the comedy circuit and all that, I always say be nice to people. Because realistically as well, sometimes, and without being, like, yous could be fucking phenomenal in 10 years' time.
Yeah. And
could need a support and go, do you know what? We're going to bring euros.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We'll take it on a world tour, because you don't know. I mean, everyone starts off. I mean, you look at Kevin Bridges, John Bishop, Michael McIntyre. Everyone starts somewhere, and nobody knows at the beginning where they're going. because the roadmap isn't mapped out for you. You kind of go, right, I'll start this, I'll do a couple of open spots, I'll get a couple of gigs, and you just don't know where your potential is. And some people don't reach that potential for years. It's only after a few years you kind of go, now I know what I'm doing. Because I remember being brought on as a guest in Vicar Street. It was probably my second gig. Des Bishop brought me on. I wasn't even meant to be on. So Deirdre O'Kane, Dara O'Brien, there was all the heavy hitters was on here. Like,
that's nuts.
And I remember Dara O'Brien talking to me after the gig and saying to me, and I found it very hard to digest, he goes, it'll be about 10 years until you get kind of really stable in yourself and you know what you're about.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Did you believe him at the time?
No, I was like, 10 years.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, like.
Yeah.
I was thinking, jeez, I thought next week I'd be playing the Tree Arena. No, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you do think to yourself, you know, and I was doubting him, but now when I think about it, he's 100% right. Like, it's a process. Don't look, you know, at the length of the journey. Just stay on the road and just keep driving. Like, do you know what I mean? And I say that to everybody. It's, you got to find out what you're about as well. Like, are you a storyteller? Are you someone that tells puns? Are you someone that's fast with jokes? Is it observational? Do you play yourself while you're talking? Are you deadpan like Chris Kent? Are you goofy like Fred Cook? Are you kind of, you know, hyper? Are you like, what way are you going to play this? Like, so everyone's got their own way of doing it. Like, and I've seen loads of comedians over the years, like hundreds of comedians going to Edinburgh and going and seeing people that I wouldn't even know, and watching how the way they craft what they do, and it's amazing. Like, and then they get off stage and like some of them are characters. And have you ever heard of a guy called Neil Hamburger?
No.
There's a guy called Neil Hamburger, and it's dark. Like, do you know what I mean? It's darker than your bleeding. Than a seller. Like, he plays this character, and he wears a tuxedo, and he's got big geeky glasses on him.
You know,
he holds a drink like that, and he's the jokes are like, it's come here, it's really dark stuff, and he talks like this, you know, hi. And then he does the joke, and when it's really dark and people are going, oh, he goes, I got cancer. So he's trying to justify with what he's saying, that he's cancer, like that he can say what he wants. And I brought me mates to see him in the Sugar Club, 4 of me mates, and one of me mates found him hilarious, and the other 3 were like, no, we're not into this. Like,
too dark for them. Like,
yeah. And he's talking about all dead celebrities and what they were like and how they died, and come here, there's loads of, but if you get a chance, Google him. He's a guy called Neil Hamburger. Then there was another guy I went to see called Frank Sinatra. And he does, and he does all Frank Sinatra songs but dressed as Hitler. Like, so come here, there's so much variation out there of what, and I know, like, you as a starting out and you're probably thinking, but you could do something someday, you know, with the way that social media is on YouTube or something on Instagram, and people really, really like it, and you could say to yourself, Jesus, maybe this is what I should do, like.
Yeah.
So who's to say, like, in 5 years' time that you're not a character, or you're not a character, still doing stand-up, but doing something a bit left field that people really like. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, don't, you know, what I'd say is just keep an open mind for what you're doing, like.
Yeah.
You know, don't put yourself into that category and go, that's exactly what I am and what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you can go off track. And I love to be a bit crazy sometimes and just go completely off the cuff, and that's when the magic happens. Like, Jason Byrne is my opinion is the best for it. And
I said it to him. It's best I've seen live. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm very fortunate. He's a really good mate of mine, and I've watched him over the years that I've been doing comedy, and I just don't know where he gets his brain should be, when he dies, donated to science or something like that, because there's something in his brain that's just not in anybody else's brain. Like.
Yeah, so we seen him at Paddy Power, and I don't know, it appeared like he didn't have any sort of set.
He didn't, he got people up from the crowd and all. He didn't know what they were going to say, what they were going to do.
25, 30 minutes of just like riffing, and
he's brilliant.
Unbelievable.
I've seen him over the years and the stuff that he does, and you're kind of going, Jesus Christ. And I mean, he goes to Edinburgh every year. He's been in Edinburgh 29 years.
In a row?
Yeah, you think about that.
That's nuts.
Jesus,
No, he's been in Edinburgh. I don't know whether he's been there 29 years, but he's been doing stand-up next year 30 years.
And he basically goes every year.
So, like, you were watching that right for 35 minutes a few months ago.
Yeah.
But that's 30 years of graft, like.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that he just didn't walk out bleeding a club after been gigging for 2 years and landing on that stage. Like, he's a master at what he does. And he's a master at crowd work. He's a master at, he just knows how he talks to people. You know, Paul Smith has a different way of interacting with crowds. Everyone has a different way of interacting with crowds. But Jason has a real niceness about him.
Yeah.
That you don't feel as if you've been picked on or you've been ridiculed. It's like when he's talking to you, he's kind of hugging you and patting you on the back. And you can only want to get on the stage. People that are going, oh, I'd never get on a stage. Jason has that niceness about him that you just get up and some of the best things have happened.
Yeah.
He's done live at the London Palladium. He's met Prince Charles and he's been on a talk show with Lady Gaga, like on the Graham Norton show, and like some of the stuff he's done. He's been in some films as well. He was in The General. He was in a version of Alice in Wonderland as well, like a big movie as well. So he's done a lot of stuff. He wrote his own sitcom for English television. I don't think Irish television done him any justice here at all, to be honest. People go, I don't like him, and I do say to them, go and see him live and tell me if you don't like him.
Yeah.
And he was on telly like 10, 15 years ago as well, which is a long time. As you said, like, that was halfway through his comedy career. In that time, he's built so much experience live.
Yeah, and I've learned an awful lot from Jason as well. And not only comedy-wise, but I've learned a lot. Because Jason was like me, the way I kind of am to you as well. Do you understand me? Me and Eric met Jason when we done Kilkenny for the first time 17 years ago. And that year he says, why don't you just come off to Edinburgh? He says, you can stay with me for a few days. He says, and I'll show you around and all.
What a legend, man.
And like, we were like, this fella was fucking on his game, like, you know. So I've known Jason like a good few years, and he's a really good fella and he's a nice bloke and everybody loves him. Yeah. You know, he's just one of them fellas, yeah.
What way would you categorise yourself there? You know what you're saying? You're either a pawn or you're doing a character on stage.
I was going to say about you, I look at you, Joe and Eric, and I feel like you are just you on stage. I don't think you have Van. Like, I feel like me talking to you and you getting on stage is the exact same thing. Something you'd say to me, you'd get up and just do it the exact same way and people would love it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm one of these fellas that doesn't really write comedy. I don't sit down with a pen and paper and write a whole story and go, I'm going to do that. I'm more of a, like, and I've said this loads of times, I just put an idea down or a story that I remember. Do you know what I mean? Say, bleeding the three-legged dog, for argument's sake. And I'd remember that story and then I'd start telling it. So I'd record the story then when I'm telling the story. And if it has a bit of potential or I know that it's funny, I'll keep doing it and I'll add bits to it. Do you know what I mean? And I'll do stuff like that. So, like, the new show was like about... the bulk of it is about me family, like, because like most people know, all my family are dead. Like my sister, my mum, my dad, who was the unit of my family, are all gone. So I just kind of thought I'd do a show in a way to commemorate them, but also to make a few quid off their back without having to give them money. Now, in a way to kind of I find that when people pass away, if you talk about them, you kind of keep them alive. In a sense, like, so it was just kind of stories about them, me man, and a bit of stand up in it as well. Like, I tell a few stories about going to America because I'd never been to America before, you know. Yeah. And just the observations of the Americans, and like, American people are fucking nuts, like.
They let you in, though, brother.
And a lot of them are just stupid, like. Look, I went into the Apple shop in Los Angeles, right? I wasn't even hungry, like. And I asked to see the manager, who was Granny Smith, right? No, I went into the Apple shop, and I don't have any Apple products, but my mate was going in to get a case for his phone, the fella I was talking about earlier on. And like, I'm from Ballymoon, right? And I'm walking into this Apple shop, and everything is just on the tables with no bugs or no, like, Apple Watches, phones, the whole lot. And I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? Like, and I said to me mate, Terry, I says, Terry, like, them phones is all working. I says, on the, like, there's none way over here, you have a bleeding alarm, and you pull the string, two pit bulls come out and start ripping you apart in the bleeding shop. There's none of that over there. Like Terry says to me, people don't rob over here, Willa.
Yeah,
he says there's so much trust. He says, now we were in a really nice part of LA as well, but I just couldn't get my head around it. Do you know what I mean? Because my mentality, even though I'm a changed person and I wouldn't think of picking up art and putting it in my pocket, the old me was going, I would fucking flitter this place. Like, if anyone walked in here after me and my mate's been in there 25 years ago, they think they were selling tables because we nothing else on them. Like. Do you know what I mean? They think it was a furniture shop. How much is that table, sir? You know, because the phones and the watches and bleeding.
Be gone, swiped.
Oh, you know, the AirPods and all, like, everything, all Apple was just there, like, no bugs, so it's gone.
Where is this place?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's an amazing country. I couldn't get over just, you know, when you're looking at it on telly, like, and you're going, it's exactly like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different than going into Compton and going to Skid Row and then going to the other parts. Like, I went to Malibu Beach, I went to Santa Monica or Santa Barbara, Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, and all these places. Then we drove down to Vegas, went to Vegas for the night,
nice.
Went to the Sphere, on the big huge
thing.
Yeah. So the Sphere, before the Sphere goes down to Los Angeles, where my mate lives.
Sphere is a circle for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah. Atmosphere.
Oh, do farts, bro.
Good stuff.
I laughed at him first.
Lovely.
He didn't. You've
He's
lasted
excited.
a few minutes later. Forced the fart out. Powdery fucking.
Gary, have you got baby wipes on here?
Yeah, and the Sphere is all the stuff for the Sphere is made in Burbank. So they've got a mini Sphere there.
Right.
And then they do all the stuff in that, and then when the show is ready, they bring it to Vegas, like.
Oh, nice.
Do you know what I mean? So before you two went down to Vegas,
We didn't.
all the visuals for the whole lot of that was done in Burbank, and then it goes down
And then
there.
it goes.
Fucking unreal. Were you in it or were we just outside it?
No, I went into it. Yeah. We went to a show, and it was
What did you see?
called Postcards from Earth,
Oh, nice.
and it was unreal.
It's not a.
So it was like a wildlife film, and the whole circle comes over your head, right? So you're sitting there, and you're like, there's like an aquarium, like say parts of it, and it's like you're in the aquarium, and then you see like a shot of elephants coming along, and when the elephants are walking, the seats you're in start shaking. You know, when they're hitting the ground like this, it was unreal. Like,
that's class.
And then went to a couple of old pawn shops over there, and
Obviously, did you watch Pawn Stars?
Yeah, and obviously, went to the outlets and done a bit of bleeding shopping because I'm running trainers mad, like.
Yeah.
So done loads of that. We just had a really nice time, and it was just off the back as well. Like when I went last year in August, my ma was only at the doing in May as well. Like, so it was a real. It gave me a bit of time kind of to reflect on stuff, like, because my ma was the last remaining member of my family to pass away, and it was like, it wasn't like kind of getting the clarity like that I'm on my own, like, it was nothing like that, but it was just like, it's mad how life pans out, you know, and I say it in the show that I'm doing as well, Dead Man Talking, you know, I say if you're having any hassle at all with anyone in your family, you know, whether it's a grievance or whether it's an argument that's been running for a long time or anything like that, like, my advice to anyone is just sort the fucking thing out, like, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. Like you could be arguing with someone in your family, like, and I know loads of people that it's happened to. Like, I know really close friends of mine that have had trouble with, you know, brothers of theirs or sisters or their mas and their dads, and next of all, they're gone, like.
Yeah.
And that thing is, I should have, would have, you know, and could have, like, and that's no good. That's no good when they're gone, like. No. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then you're left.
Unless you were right, though. That's what I think.
Yeah, but sometimes, I get that. But sometimes it's not about being right. Like, I mean, even if you are right,
it's very hard to deal with sometimes. Now he'd argue down to the ground over something.
Who?
Me dad.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Like, because my relationship with my dad for years was fucking toxic. Like, I mean, when I was using, me and my dad never got on. Like, there was always something there. Like, I actually contemplated murdering me dad years ago. Like, genuinely, yeah. There was a heated argument in the flat in Ballymun, and I had a leg off a fucking table that I had in the bedroom with me, and it got heated, and I actually, me head was telling me to kill him. Like, now I never raised my hand to him in my life. I never hit him. But the relationship was always difficult. But when I came into recovery, and I had a look at where my dad came from in his life, like he came from a family of 16 children, like they'd nothing. Jesus. Like my dad's brother told me, and I found it very hard to digest, but it was very sad as well. And the guy that told me is still alive. He's 89. My uncle told me that he didn't know what toilet paper was until he went to live in London. And he's in London since 1952. So they'd literally nothing in the flat where my dad lived. Like 16 children.
Which one did you live? What flats did you live in?
No, my dad lived. Do you know the Brazen Head pub?
Yeah.
You know there's flats right across in the Brazen Head at the back of the Merchant called Cooke Street Flats, St. Audience House. 2 blocks of flats. Stone throw from Oliver Bond.
Yeah.
So literally as you go over the bridge there at the forecourts where the Bridewell is, when you go over the Liffey, you have the Merchant pub on your left, then you have the Brazen Head on your right. And the flats is just across from there on the corner.
I know it, yeah.
That's where my dad's from, yeah. So when I realised where my dad had came from as a child and what he had dealt with as a child, so there was 16 kids in my dad's family. So my granny was pregnant for 16 years in a row.
Jesus.
Like literally after the 3 months, my granny was pregnant again. So there was 16 years between the bottom child and the top child.
Fucking hell.
Like, you think about it. Like, it's fucking nuts, like. And there was a lot of trauma and there was a lot of stuff that went on in my dad's gaff. And my dad just carried it over to us, like. So we were fucking, me and my sister were battered as kids, and my ma got the brunt of it, and there was a lot of violence and there was a lot of drink because my dad didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to channel it. That was the only way that you could do it. So I carried that from a kid, and even through life, like me dad, even for the last couple of years of his life, even though he was small, frail and old, and I've said this loads of times on podcasts, he instilled that much fear into me as a kid that I still feared him.
Really?
Even though I knew I could overpower him and if I wanted to knock the bollocks out of him, but it wasn't about that. But recovery gave me the ability and gave me the understanding and the compassion and the love and the forgiveness to understand where this man had came from. And I bleeding loved him. Like, I really, really loved him. And when he died, and I always say this, when he died, he said it to me, he says, the worst feeling anyone could feel in the world is loneliness. And I really get that as well. Like, and he said to me in the hospice in Hardle's Cross, he says, look, I don't want to die on my own, like, you know. He had a great acceptance around dying. I think because my sister was gone beforehand, she went in 2010, and he was like, and my dad was like, look, I'm 78. He says, there's kids that have cancer that don't get a chance.
Yes,
he says, I've had 78 years on this earth. So he's really, really at peace for himself, you know. So he says, look, when I die, he says, I don't want to be on my own, like, you know. And it was just great to be able to be there with him, like, when he drew his last breath, like, and be able to hold him and to love him. It's the most intimate time that I ever had with my dad was when he was leaving the world, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's madness.
And it's great, like, and I missed him. I missed them all terrible, like, you know. But life goes on, like, life ain't bleeding great. There's people in life that's in worse positions than I'm in.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've got, even though my family are gone, I've still got people in my life that really love me, and I'm well liked by a lot of people. Not everybody. Not everyone in life is gonna like you, like.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And sometimes the people that you think are actually cheering for you aren't, like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I find that people want you to do well in life, but sometimes they don't want you to do as well as them, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, last year was a really, really big year for me, but it was a bittersweet year, and I was selling out everywhere really, really fast.
Everywhere.
And I've got a Gaiety on now on the 3rd of November, and it's not selling as quick as I'd like it to sell, like.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've got a great faith and a great belief that, look, no matter who's there, whether it's full, whether it's half full, because I'll take the positive out of it, it's still going to be a great night. Like, look, I've no control over people going out and buying tickets. The only thing I've got control over is me. So from next week, I'll push it a bit. I'll do a few clips. I'll do a bit of, interviews or radio stuff or probably TV to try do it. So when I arrive at that venue, and I always say this to people that are putting on shows, you need to know when you arrive at the venue that the show is in the best condition that you can have it in, first and foremost, and that you have done everything physically possible, from your point of view and from a promoter's point of view, to say when you walk out on that stage, no matter who's there, whether it's full or whether it's not, that you've done everything you could to get it to where you have it. Yeah. And it's in God's hands.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, people want to go, they'll go. People don't. They don't. Like, the show I done last year, I thought was really, really good, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I just kind of say to people, look, come back, like. Yeah. Exactly. It's going to be a good night.
You didn't do any comedy when you were in America, did you? Or have you done that before? You've only been there a few times.
I did last August. Yeah, we've done a few gigs in Boston.
Oh
yeah. That was great. It was a great bit of crack.
Fair play, just bringing Joe over. That was great.
I know we had to. Do you know what I mean? We had to get a special pass for him.
We had to skip the queue.
The guys who said to Eric, just hold his hand while we're going through here, so we get him in.
Would you ever do that? Like, go over to, I don't know if LA is still the team, but Austin, Texas is huge now. Like for comedy there. Did you ever go?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, come here. Look, I'm open to go bleeding anywhere. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have jokes, will travel. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I got an offer to go somewhere or whatever, definitely. Like, there's kind of talks at the moment about me going to Australia next April for the Melbourne and Sydney Comedy Festival.
Really?
And if it happens, no better man. Like, I'll be up and I'll be gone. Like, it's the great thing about this is that you can go anywhere in the world if your material. If you can you make it universal and get references to other places. Like, I know, like I would talk about Dublin sometimes or whatever, but I mean, you can just switch it to somewhere else. And, if you can keep your material kind of openly universal, I mean, it's going to do stuff for you. And don't ever be shy to get out of your comfort zone and, put in for an open spot in hot water in Liverpool or somewhere in London in the top secret comedy club. Go and do it, like.
Yeah.
It's good to get out. It's good. Like, and as mad as you might think, it's good to die in your hole sometimes in places. And because it actually it makes you humble, first and foremost. Because sometimes you can think when you're in your own backyard, you're funny, like. But when you go out of it, like, when I gigged in England, I done, like, good few dates in Jongleurs and that where I was gone. But I remember one night I done a gig in Jongleurs in Sway in London, and I died the death of 1,000 deaths.
Do you have to change that shit when you go over there?
Yeah, well, you do change it to a certain extent.
Like, how much do you change it now? Like, as in...
Well, come here, if I'm talking about Ballymun or I'm talking about a rough area, if I'm, say, gigging in Cheshire or I'm gigging in Nottingham, I'll find out the shitholes in Nottingham and Cheshire.
Yeah.
Just talk about that place.
To say Ballymun.
But they love it. They love it. Like, they don't even say Ballymun. Like, you just name that place and talk about that place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You could say, look, I have a cousin that lived in Bleeding Oakfields. Say that's the Kip. And then just walk your thing around that.
Tell your story,
Tell your story, but in that situation.
Yeah, deadly.
And what English audiences love and audiences worldwide love is that when you have a knowledge about the place that you're playing in. Look, if you've seen Michael McIntyre coming over here and he's on stage talking about Finglas, people would just go, he knows where Finglas, even though he wouldn't have a fuck. If you brought him outside and put him in a bleeding car and says, drive me to Finglas, he'd have no idea where Finglas was. But it's just the reference and the mentioning places in Dublin that people just go, you must know Dublin, like, do you know what I mean?
You do it yourself, even if you're in the audience, you would.
It's just... That's just kind of the way it is. So, yeah, it's
I wouldn't fall for that now. I went to a Jack Whitehall fucking show in the Tree Arena, and he came out on a horse, and the horse shit on the stage, and I knew every night he's been here, he's done that with the horse shit on the stage, but it's this whole, oh, no way, like, this is the only time this ever happened.
It was fake shit, like?
Yeah, they just made the horse shit or something. I don't know how they made him shit. Or there was shit there. I don't know. I wasn't looking to see.
Shit button on his neck, just press it.
But everyone was like, oh my God.
He's probably just bleeding, have the horse backstage with a load of laxatives going down his throat. The minute his stomach starts rumbling, go on, Jack, go on. Did he really go on stage on a horse?
Came on stage on a horse, and then, like, obviously no one's looking at the ground, and then he's like, the horse is after shitting, and everyone looks down and the shit, and so they're like, oh yeah, he did just shit. But he did that the night before as well.
I never heard that before that he come on. I seen John Bishop coming on the stage on a motorbike.
But John, one of my favourite entrances ever was John Bishop. Don't know the special, but he has a slide.
Yeah.
It's the
Helter Skelter.
That
was the one where he had the midget on it with him. Yeah.
That's the funny.
He actually donated that Helter Skelter to like a children's charity
What's
or something.
Helter Skelter?
I thought he was going to say donated the midget.
You know the slides at the fun fairs that go round like that?
Oh, yeah.
It's called the Helter Skelter, yeah.
But he gets in. Did he get in or did he come out? Did the midget come in?
He got in.
And the midget
got into the slide, and by the time it came down, there was a fella that size. It was very good.
It was funny.
Yeah.
You're friends with him, aren't you? Do you know him?
Yeah. He's yeah. He'd be on the podcast, you know.
That'd be deadly. That's
This
what's
podcast.
What?
Put a word for
Yeah,
us.
this one, yeah.
Put a word for us.
As a matter of fact, it's John.
Would you? I was actually going to ask you about our podcast. Do you do? Because you do fucking everything now, like, don't you? You do loads.
Yeah, you know what? I like. It's mad as well because people see it on TikTok and people see it on thing. Go, Jay, you're mad busy, aren't you? Sometimes you're not. Like, look, I get a couple of weeks where I'm actually doing nothing.
Really?
Like, I'm not yet. I'm not gigging. Look, I looked at October this like, and I went, geez, I haven't got a lot on in October. So what I'll do now is I'll start knocking on doors, or I'll start just going in and doing clubs for nothing. Because I need to be bleeding show fit for November.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you get stale, it's stale on stage. I need to be on stage. I need to keep stage fit.
Is that comfortable? Like, so you're not nervous when you go up? I just
it's not that. I just need to be sharper. I need to be gigging. I need to be doing the material. I need to know what I'm doing rather than not being on stage for 2 or 3 weeks beforehand and thinking, it's going to be grand, because it's not going to be grand. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so you this is what I said to you earlier on. You're gonna know that when you get there to the venue to do your show, that it's ready to do. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying?
This is a bit of a mad example, but you know, did you ever hear Triple H, the wrestler? Do you know him?
Do you know I'm not into wrestling at all, man.
Right, do you know Triple H? Yeah. He's friends with Mayweather, right? And he said he went to one of Mayweather's matches, and he was like, oh, he wants to say hello, Mayweather does. And he went in, and he was lying on the sofa, just on his phone or whatever, and he shook his hand. He's like, lovely to meet you again or whatever, I'm going to go. And he's like, no, stay. And he had a few friends there, they were watching the basketball and all. And he said what he took from that, he goes, do you want me to go? Like, you're not getting ready. He's like, listen, this fight was booked 6 months ago. I've done everything now up until yesterday.
Yeah.
If I'm not ready now, I did something wrong.
Yeah, and it's just like it's like that as well. When I done Liberty Hall last year, when I done the 2 Liberty Halls, the second one I was really, really sick. Like, I woke up the next morning for the second one, I couldn't talk.
Really?
Like, I genuinely could not speak. And I was on the phone to Jamie of MCD, and he said, look, you need to make a decision before 12 o'clock of what you're going to do, like, because we were going to have to pull this. And but like what you said, the night before that, when I could really speak and there was people in with me and they're going, do you want us to go or anything like that? And it's like, I'm going, no, like, it's grand.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people think, you need to get in the zone or anything like that. I don't. Do you know what I mean? Probably 5 minutes before I go on stage, I spend a bit of time with myself. You know, and like the Gaiety was just really special last year.
That was mental.
Yeah, were you at the Gaiety last year?
No, we actually want that, but just doing it and
it
the whole
it was
story.
mad. Like, it was like the first comedian to do it since Billy Connolly, and like, I'm in there and just the whole thing of, you know, when I was on drugs for years and when I was homeless and people avoided you and people didn't want to know you, to walk out to a venue like with 1,200 people completely sold out, and like just the feeling of that going, fucking hell, like, it was just mad.
That's a dream, like,
insane.
that's literally a dream.
Yeah, and it was brilliant, and it was just the way it happened. Like, they got a gap in the bleeding calendar in the Gaiety of a month, and it sold out in the month, and it was like, fucking hell, something's happening here, like, you know. But this is what I'm saying to you, 1 year is different from the next.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now I have a date on for the Gaiety in November.
And it's like
not,
you've already...
No, it's not. Like, it's not. You know, so I wasn't thinking, I'll throw that on and this will sell in a month. every year is different. Every week is different.
Yeah.
And for the last
Do you know
few
what I mean?
years,
Like, you
you've
could
been
be
just
popular.
growing and
Yeah,
growing.
like riding high. It's like what Frank Sinatra sung, you know. Sometimes you're riding high in April and then you're shot down in May. Like.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
Did you ever
you,
hear
'cause-
Frank Nazis what he said? Bottles of Pete.
He's jazz, isn't he?
Because you have been, for the last few years, you've been growing and growing, but I wanted to kind of ask the difference between Willa and Willie White. Because it's kind of, were you always known as Willa, or is that only the last few
I've
years
always
or
been
so?
known as Willa since I was a kid.
Oh,
yeah,
really, yeah?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
my
That
ma-
was my nickname.
Would have known you as Willie. I think when...
Yeah, no. People, some people call me Willie and some people call me Willa. And my ma used to call me William.
Right.
So it was mad. My ma called me William, my dad called me Willie, and my sister called me Willa.
Oh,
But to me mates all the time, and then people do say when I'm going to do gigs, what will I call you, like? And I'm like, call me whatever you
Whatever want.
it's Willa or it's Willie. Well, I advertise myself as Willa White.
As Willa.
yeah.
And I've said this loads of times on podcasts. My name isn't Willa because my name is Willie. Look, I used to rob horses years ago when I was a kid. I was only talking to me missus the other day. We were driving down through Coolock and I was showing her where all these houses used to be. I says, well, look, everywhere where there was houses, there used to be fields, you know?
Yeah.
So we used to rob the horses down there. We used to go down as kids and we used to hide and watch the young fellas bringing in the horses. And we'd be seeing them out on them and seeing what was fast and the whole lot. And then you go back down that night, do you know what I mean? You go into the field and you have a rope and you just grab the bleeding horse and you'd be gone on it. But I used to call a stick a Willa. Used to say, I used to come into the estate then and go to the lads, break us a Willa, give us a Willa. And that's where my name came from.
No way.
Wasn't
Oh,
that my
really,
name
yeah.
wasn't that my name was Willa William
Just a
or Willie.
coincidence.
It's just one of them coincidences.
How would you
yeah.
spot a good horse now? If you're looking at a horse in the field, what
No,
was you looking for?
we do a recce. No, we do watch them. We do see lads on them and all that. It's like bleeding. It's like the old school Indians and cowboys. You just bleed and scout them and you watch
Spotting
them.
them for weeks.
Then you watch
Yeah.
where they're putting them. And then
Aye.
that's the key then.
Well, would you ever look at a horse and go, that's not worth taking? Why would you think that, like? Is it
Sometimes
scrawny or
you
something?
just take a chance. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like when you go into the bleeding bumper cars, like you jump in the car sometimes, it's just going nowhere.
Yeah,
like, and your
yeah.
mates are flying around and, you know, you're like, do you know what I mean? Like,
That's a sign of a mad area, isn't it? Lads into horses, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'd actually love to be into them, but
But it was mad years ago because the horse thing has kind of changed because when I was a young lad, right, which is going back a good few years ago, so it would have been 40 years ago I was robbing horses. Like I'm 54, like I'd have been 13, 14 at the time. But we all used to jockey horses back then. Now it's more two-wheelers and sulkies and
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Like there's not, you don't see a lot of lads in the States now
Actually
jockeying
on a horse,
horses,
yeah.
like jockeying them.
yeah,
Do
true.
you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
look, I have a video on my Instagram. I met a fella.
Jack
on-
Whitehall does.
yeah.
Press the button on it and
they
all.
The
show
horse
you
shits
horses.
themselves.
They show you horses.
Did your horses have a button, did they?
I have a video on my Instagram where I met a fella one morning on the beach and his daughter had, he was with his daughters and they had two horses. I think he was from Tala, funny enough. And your man, I says to your man, it's real Dublin thing, just shot your horse. And your man goes, can you go on a horse? And I went, yeah. I said, well, look, come here, I haven't been on a horse for years. Which one is the quietest out of the two of them? Which is a clever question to ask.
Yeah.
He says, well, don't go on that one. He says, because that's a thoroughbred racehorse. He says, this one is all right. And I says, right. And I jumped up and I just played and took off the beach, like. And it's mad because it done something to me. It was like I got transported back to being a bleeding young fella again.
Yeah.
Do you know
Fell
what
in
I'm
love with the
saying?
horse.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like it was
Yeah.
like, and I was listening to a song the other day. I was going down to Havin with a mate of mine to do a talk, like a drugs talk, and we were talking about songs. And there's a song called "Find My Way Home" by John Vangelis. John and Vangelis there's two of them in it, and it was a song that always reminds me of when I was a kid with an old mate of mine who's dead now, Bolly. Of a time in my childhood where things kind of seemed all right, like even though they probably weren't. But I found great freedom in being on horses, and it was like drugs. Like horses just kind of gave me that freedom. And when you're on the horse, you just kind of concentrate on the horse and nothing else. The violence that's going on at home and the trouble and the place getting smashed up and me ma overdosing and me dad coming in drunk and me and my sister getting beaten. none. You didn't think about any of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just you and the bleeding horse, like, you know.
That's your happy place. Like,
So
that's
it was,
just,
it was great, and it was mad. Like, I got on that horse in Portmarnock, and I felt as if I bleeding got transported back to that time where it was like I'd no cares, I'd nothing, I'd no responsibilities of that time of being a kid when you got home. Do you know what I mean? And you're not paying money to your man, and your dinner's there, and you've got the magic wash basket, as I call it. You just throw your stuff in, it comes back to your bed, fucking ironed, and your stuff is just there, and it's like, how did that happen?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where the house is just kind of ran differently, and you have no responsibilities, and your clothes are bought for you, and then you come into adulthood, then it's just everything just changes. Like, and that's what I miss about me family on the good days. Do you know what I mean? I miss the times that, you know, even though they were few and far between, the times were good in the house. That's what I miss as being a kid. I miss having no responsibilities, and I miss fucking just being able to be a young fella and be really thankful, again, not to sound like a bleeding dinosaur, to be part of that generation where there was no phones.
Yeah.
Like, we just fucking ran the streets, like. It was just a completely, like, how old are you?
27.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even remember it, like.
See, we
Ballymun would have been mad as well, like.
yeah.
But there was do you know what? There was always something to do. Like, I remember the summers coming out, like, in the morning, the fucking sun would be beaming, and I'd have me rally boner, or I'd have an old bike that I made up, and to be either lads with horses, or you'd be going up to the forest in Santry, and we had rafts. Those pallets were all styrofoam in them and a stick, and we get into the bleeding lake, and, you know, you'd be bleeding just poking out frogs' eyes with a stick. Always something to do. Or someone had a dog, or you went up into the farmer's fields and you got chased with a farmer, and
you were going to say
mad shit that happened. Like,
we were a bit like that as well.
Obviously, we had phones. Our like early childhood would have been like that. If you know what I mean? Phones. I probably got my first phone when I was like maybe like 10, 11. But it would have been one of the ones you only used if your dad rang it. Do you know what I mean? Where are you?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even really bring it out. But that's obviously different to what he had. But then now, like, my little brother and all, like, they have phones now at, like, fucking 8, like, iPhones and all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's completely different, like.
No, it is completely...
sad, really, like.
Like, I think about... Like, I was about your age when I got a phone. Like, when I started using a phone.
Why, yeah.
When you think about it, yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, because I'm double your age.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you were only born when I was your age.
And me as well. I'm the same age.
Think
Same
like-
if you
think
killed
like-
me here. Like.
So you think about that.
That's crazy.
So there's a kid being born today in the matter of the rotunda, and I'm your age. So when I was your age, I was actually in prison.
Why?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
age were you when you got locked up?
I was locked up for a few years on and off, but the last prison sentence I got was like 3.5 or 5.5 years I got, but I was in for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So I got out when I was 29.
Fuck, man, that's so mad.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's mad.
Yeah.
Like, and it's mad. Yeah. Like, so I was your age when you were born. Like, it's crazy when you think about it.
When you put it like that, yeah.
What do you reckon if there were phones and the technology back then when you were younger in Ballymun? What do you reckon it would have been like? Do you think the area would have been a bit different?
Childhood would have been completely ruined, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, we had a phone box in Shangan, between Shangan Avenue and Shangan Road. So Shangan Avenue was where I lived, which was 4 stories. Shangan Road had 8 stories, right? So the flats, there was a gap like between the flats like that, and there was a phone box in the middle there like that. And 2 blokes used to man the phone box, right?
What, you
So this is what happened, right? So loads of the flats didn't have telephones. So the phone would ring. Fella would go on the phone, how are you? Will you go up and get married in number 243 Shangan Road?
That's mad.
So the fella with him done the running. So he held the phone. And it was lucrative, because every time you went up and got someone, you got fightings or you got tempings, like.
Was that just in Ballymun, or did he do that everywhere?
It was happening in Ballymun, like.
But they had...
And it was a big thing, like, if you were a man it was usually the mad cunts that were doing it.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't get bleeding too soft, no weird on it, like, you know, fellas that could have a scrap, like.
Yeah.
You'd be going, walk away, like. So, and then the fella would go to the gaff, and he'd bring down the woman or the man that was on the phone to whoever it was, and you got items, or you got temps, you went to the shop and you got a few sweets. It was mad.
That is mad.
Completely
But
different.
the
You think
Ballymun
about
had
it.
their own little... Like, obviously it was a huge community, but they had their own little thing, like the vans and all as well. They were like...
Yeah, I was only
don't know if anyone else
talking to me mate last night, me mate Carl Brady, who's over in who lives in London now at the minute, his family had a van, and the vans was
My granddad I think he used to own the one in front of your block.
What's your granddad's name again?
McGovern.
Yeah, that's
I think
right.
he used to own that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then they closed that one. When I was growing up, it was gone. They had the other one around the corner. What way was it? It was in front of one of the forest blocks as you come down. What's the road there? The Ballymun Road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shangan Road, the Brady's that lived next door to your granddad.
I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can't remember.
Carl Brady lived next door, right next door to your granddad, yeah. Yeah, so you had the McGoverns, you had the Bradys, you had the Shields, and then you had the Crowleys, and then 4 houses. I can actually remember them, yeah. And they lived next door to Carl, yeah.
It's mad how different
the Bradys
it
had a van as well, yeah.
Yeah,
and then the Brennans had a van, and I remember the Bartons. I remember them all. Like,
for anyone
mad.
Who doesn't know what it is, it's like a container, and they just had a news agent in it. That's what.
Yeah,
that's
but some
what
of them was
had,
containers, and some of them was actually vans.
Oh, really?
Now,
yeah.
I remember the Duffys had a van, and God rest them, the two of them are dead. James and Darden, they died unfortunately from drugs. But I knew them, and they were good lads, you know. But they had a van. They used to take the stock in 2 bleeding crates up to the gaff, like, because the van used to get robbed all the time.
Mad.
Do you know what I'm
Do you
saying?
know what? I'm from Drimnagh, and I'm my best mate to him years
My
now.
ma's from Drimnagh.
Is she?
Yeah, she's from Sleevemore Road, yeah.
No way, that's only around the corner from me.
That's where my ma's from, yeah.
Jeez, that's mad, and your family.
And my uncle's still in the house. The last one now, my ma's family, yeah. Yeah, my uncle Desi, he's still in the gaff, yeah.
That's mad, I never knew that about you now. But I'd be going up to Ballymun with him now, and our mate, you know, Paddy Surdy.
Yeah.
We'd be going up to him now, and him and Paddy talking about Ballymun, and to me this is just like a fictional story they be telling us about.
Have a look at there's loads of old archives and stuff of Ballymun on YouTube and things like that, and it was a fucking great. Come here,
all crocodiles in the bats and all.
Come here, all them working class communities like Drimnagh, Crumlin, Finglas, Ballyfermot, Cabra, Ballymun, Coolock. They were all great communities. Like when they all like. Them houses are around a long, long time, but there was just a great community in it. Like, you were never left on your own. Like, you were never left hungry, and everyone looked after each other. No one bleeding does now, you know. There's not a lot of people that do. You know, few people in your estate that your man, dad be mates with, but they wouldn't knock on anyone else's door, like, you know.
Do you know what?
Back then, it was real good community, like, you know.
100%. Even you saying, I remember there was the McGoverns, the Bradys, the whatever. Yeah. Now you don't know 4 neighbours in a row. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have been on his road. That was across the road.
Yeah, even there you go.
So I basically lived. Here's where I lived, and you probably wouldn't remember it. So your granddad's house was here, right?
Yeah.
So across that road there was 4 stories. My flat literally looked straight into your granddad's garden.
Did they?
I lived in 16 Shangan Avenue, which was the top floor, and it was the second block, and it looked right. So you had 3 avenues where your granddad lived.
Yeah.
Your granddad lived on the 2nd Avenue, the 1st Avenue, 2nd Avenue, and 3rd Avenue. And then you had the row of flats, the 4 stories in Shangan Avenue. And when I looked out my window, literally your granddad's, and that's where I know who was all in them houses.
Yeah.
Now I know loads of other people out the 1st Avenue, 2nd Avenue, and 3rd Avenue, you know. And I just remember loads of stuff happening. Remember?
You ever seen my granddad do out mad in the garden? Because I heard around where you could do cartwheels. We never seen him do it, but I know he was fucking
gargles. We can do cartwheels as well.
Cartwheels home, yeah.
Remember years ago, Jimmy
Hendrix.
No, Jimmy, what was his name? He was only a young fella. He fucking died of an asthma attack. I think he was only 8 or 9. Like,
Jesus.
Look, and that was a big thing as kids. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to think of a second name. We used to say to him, give us a whistle, Jimmy. I can still see him. He was a rusty-headed fella in a pair of, like, Jarvis Cocker glasses. Right. And he was a character, you know, one of them young fellas like that. Was just a good kid. And next of all, he had a bleeding, he had a heart attack and he was gone. Like, he had an asthma attack and he was gone.
Jesus.
And then I remember fellas moving out here as well, like, kids. Mate of mine, Davey Byrne, moved out to Clondalkin. And he was only 7 or 8 and he was dead in a couple of weeks. He was scutting on the back of a lorry. And the bleeding lorry went over him, like, you know. It wasn't that, like, there was just, as I said, like, the community was great, the people were great, there was great characters, there was always something to do, there was always...
What dogs running wild when you were younger?
Yeah,
there was still that when I was young.
Yeah, I talk about that in the show that I do. And all the dogs had second names.
Yeah.
Like, so if you'd Sparky White and bleeding Shep O'Connor, like the family that the dog came from, That's what it is. And I do a story about my own dog that I have in the show. I had a dog called Rebel, and my first dog ever, like, do you know what I mean? And I do a story about him, and it's mad, like, and there was no fucking cleaning up shite after dogs are.
No,
do you know,
they
there was
just
no,
let
there was
out.
no, there was, yeah, you
There
like,
was
I
a
used to go up
dog.
in the morning, open the door and let me dog out.
A
Like.
little dog, this little red, it was a bigger than a Pomeranian. I don't know what type of breed that is. And this dog used to fucking go for everyone. It bit me cousin and all. We used to jump onto the trees and cling onto branches till me ma come around in the car to collect us. Like, this thing would fucking chase you up everything.
There was none of this bleeding French bulldogs for $5,000 or any of that shit. Like, your dog was just true on the street no matter what it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're just different times. People, you know, the way things is now, the bleeding, pay $5,000 for a dog, you're bleeding mad.
It's mad money, isn't it?
Like, a dog is like having another child when you think about it. I mean, you go away on holidays, you've got to get someone to look after that dog straight away. Like, the thing of having a dog, I think, is great, but people just don't look at the bigger picture of it. And then, come here, it's cheaper to get Blake and give the dog a bang of a shovel than bring it to the vet these days. The price of the bills, man. 2 and 3 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, right, look after that myself.
My dog's fucked, isn't it? How often my dog in the vet?
Yeah, fair.
Horrible little
No,
cunt.
come here. I'm only joking. I actually love dogs, and look, I wouldn't like to see. But I'm just saying, if you haven't got your dog insured or anything like that, and you go to a vet, like, it's like bringing your car to a mechanic, isn't it? The bleeding dingle bang bomber's gone on that. Like, that's bleeding, you know, 700 quid. There'll be nothing wrong with the dog. Like, do you know what I mean? How do you know? Giving you bleeding tablets, giving them 3 times a. Like, it's mad money.
What's the best pet to have?
Dog.
You strike me as like a parrot, man. I don't know if you have a parrot, do you? I reckon you'd.
I used to have, but you know, it's mad that you should say that, right? That's mad that you should say that. Because I used to keep...
It is fucking mad, Willa.
No, yeah. I used to keep birds when I was a kid. I used to keep finches.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, so like goldfinches, green finches, bullfinches. I had a couple of budgies and stuff like that. So I loved
in the
birds.
gaff, you have
I had them on
shed.
someone who would have on the balcony, but we had a budgie years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Joey, his name was, and he died. He bleeding. He was like Al Qaeda. He flew into the frying pan. Dad was doing his dinner, and the budgie bleeding flew straight into the hot grease, and he was dead.
Fucking
But
hell.
remember me dad, we used to let him out of the cage all the time, and you literally put your finger out like that, and the budgie would just land on your finger, like, really friendly budgie, you know. But my dad had a scab on his bleeding forehead, there, right, like that.
Yeah.
And he landed on my dad's glasses and bit the bleeding scab on.
No. The nose is on
So we
budgies.
started feeding them after that.
The mouth on a budgie is all
Budgies, do you know budgies are?
Budgie.
Budgie, like my granny had a budgie for years. Any budgie I ever knew was always called Joey. None of them had any other fucking name. Joey,
yeah.
Every budgie was Joey.
My cousin.
I think his one was
Joey as well.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, Poxy Joey,
What
yeah.
is that?
I don't know. Straight popular. Imagine budgies all talking to each other. What's your name? Joey. Joey. Fucking Joey. 25 Joeys. Joey, I want a whole lot of them all turned around. Joey, I want it for your dinner.
Yeah, do you know what I was going to say to you? I like a sound, but I love loads of sayings you have that just went viral. The story one, the 4 story. That is fucking brilliant, man. The stuff you come out with is bleeding top. Did you hear that one?
No.
When he was on, I think it was talking bollocks, wasn't it? He said it first.
Yeah.
Talking about the 4 stories. He's like, yeah, I used to live in the 4 stories. Story. Fucking brilliant.
I got to live in the 15 stories.
But yeah, I don't like birds. My uncle still has a parrot. My uncle still has a parrot.
Hey!
Tough crowd now, Carl.
Yeah.
But he does. I won't touch you.
My cousin had a parrot, and parrots are very overprotective of their owners.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you want to see the parrot my cousin had, it was stone mad. Like, the thing used to look at you. Like, look right through you like that, right? And it used to eat roast potatoes. What? I swear to God, I'm not joking with you. Right? The thing would be in the cage like that with a roast potato in its claw like that, eating it, just looking at you. And lads, I'm not telling you a word of a lie. The steam would be coming out of this roast potato and just like that, biting and looking at you. Yeah, it was I tell you, one of them yolks bite you, take your bleeding finger off.
Even just holds it.
Like a bleeding, it's like one of them yolks for robbing the bleeding chains and all the things. The snips.
Big scissors.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, she did great. I think it was a Graham McCaw or something like that. Now this
They're
thing
about
was
$5
that.
grand as
There
well.
was a
See
few
this
quid.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with you. She goes to me, watch this. She's down the Sunday dinner, right? Now she let the potato cool down a bit. I says, what are you going to do? She goes, watch. And she let him out of the cage, whatever his name was. He could talk and everything. And here he is like that, standing on one leg and eating the roast potato, just staring at you. He said, fuck that. Mad, innit? A bleeding roast. Like, where would you even think of going, I'm going to give me Parrot roast potatoes, like... I'll give it a carrot or a bit of apple or something like that. She's probably there one day after having a few gargles making the dinner. It's serious, there's a roast potato.
Yeah, is that done?
He was milling it. He's doing the Sunday dinner. Here he is on the page like that, looking at the oven.
Drooling.
Has she got roast potatoes on?
Yeah.
And if she didn't make them, bleeding, wrecking the fucking cage, kicking all the stuff. Roast potatoes. These cunts. Take me for a fucking Egypt.
Fucking hell, man. Rose, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. What else did you tell me before? They used to put horses in the lift or something as well. In
Yeah,
Ballymun.
they used to do that.
They did,
Did you
yeah.
ever hear about your man?
That's
You know why they
madness.
put them in the lift?
Why?
Because they used to get bollocks going up the stairs. At the 4 flights, he'd be like that. Fucking stairs are killing me.
This fella had an alligator in the
My
bath
mate
and all.
put a Shetland pony into the bedroom with his dad while his dad was drunk at that been in the pub. Brought the horse up and
For
just
the laugh.
put it into the room, yeah, and just fucked off. So I woke up, there's a Shetland pony in the room. Can you imagine that? Waking up out of a few guards, a horse just looking at you like that. Some mad cunt out there.
Man, you don't get stuff like that anymore, don't you know?
No, you
You
don't.
really don't. Like, even now, we do always say, we used to hang around in the field then for years, right? We go by that field now driving, there's no kids out in it. There's nothing going on anymore.
Technology has got the country round. I went on a retreat last weekend. I went on a meditation relaxation retreat with massage, and then there was like a silence part of it, where for 3 hours you don't talk at all. And just to let you know as well, it was
I'm fucked with that.
it was a phone. It was a complete phone
Phone-free.
detox.
Oh, was it?
So you weren't allowed to use social media or anything like that. And I thought I was going to be real anxious because, come here, I'd fucking use my phone a lot, like, you know. Sometimes for the bleeding, you know, sometimes just out of habit. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I found out that the first day it was grand. And even now, I'm not on it as much as I used to be. And come here, you can function in a world without a phone, like.
Yeah.
Because we did beforehand. I mean, now look at Chris Kent's show that he done
Brilliant.
offline. Like, now I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet, but I heard it's brilliant. But his whole thing, I mean, we can survive. You can adapt without it. But I went down on the retreat and I stayed off the phone for the weekend, and it was fucking great. Like, it's really, really good, you know. And just bleeding, just to completely get away.
I think it's funny how we now, because when we were away last year, and we barely on our phones, and we were fucking
I
hilarious.
think your mind gets more creative when you're not looking at a screen.
It does.
And I'm guilty of telling me youngest daughter what I should really be telling myself, that I'm looking at other people living their lives while my life is passing me by.
Yeah.
You look at all the time that you give to social media, and you give to thing that you could be really doing something else more productive. You know, look, if you're writing a new show, I do find that I try to stay away from the phone as much as I can, because I'm kind of looking at Instagram or looking at stuff and going, that could have been an hour that I sat down and wrote another piece of that show, or I
big
could
time.
have. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
It has its pros and it has its cons, but social media has the world. It has things fucked, like.
Boy, the bollocks.
Like,
has it all.
like you look at TikTok and you look at, like, I only spoke about this there a while ago. So I think I was talking on the podcast with Eric. I was watching TikTok, and I'm not into basketball, and I seen that fella MK. His name is. Have you seen him?
I heard you talk about
And
it.
I was like, fucking, I was nearly buying a pair. Well, I have a pair of Jordans at home. I was nearly bleeding going out into the court. Like, you know what I mean?
Who was this fella?
So this fella does one-on-ones all over
I
the world.
fucking bet into this fella, and he just be scrapping them and all.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah.
MK, his name is, yeah.
That's-
He's lead.
He
No, he's
is.
been
I'm the
beaten.
same. I
He's
hate
been-
basketball,
No, but
boy.
come here, he's been beaten a couple of times.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
has.
I've
Yeah,
only seen
yeah.
the ones he won.
And in fairness to him, he doesn't have to put them up.
True,
Oh, yeah, true.
But he fucking
There's
does.
be some proper-
Fellas beating fair and square, like, but he's a lethal basketball
And there
player.
does be proper gangsters there as
Yeah,
well.
like he
up
goes, like,
against
it's
them.
not as if he's going into Fox Rock. He's going into the ghettos. Like.
Yeah.
He's going into rough areas where fellas are rough and ready, like, for him, you know?
And he's white, isn't he? Is it the fellow I'm thinking?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
white as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd just be milling
And
into
I,
them.
like, and I said as well, like, you look at how good he is, but why is he not playing in the NBA?
Yeah,
That's
true.
the thing, yeah.
So the level over him must be fucking unreal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
If we think he's good.
Actually,
Exactly.
in that Charlie Sheen documentary, there's a little segment where him and his dad went to play Michael Jordan. The two of them went 2-on-1 against Michael Jordan.
I'm fucking betting.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to ruin that part.
Oh.
Of it. But yeah,
Well, I'm sorry,
It's
man.
all right.
Fuck, man.
It's okay.
He's never going to come back on.
He's
Sorry, Willa.
It's okay, bro. Rewind it.
Rewind that.
Hear
Cut
it.
that. Can't cut
Rewind
that.
it. Cut that out when you won't hear it.
Well, yeah, they do. They play Michael
oh yeah, you've seen it. I was like, why is he fucking telling the story? You
And I
said you
know,
haven't
it's
seen
just a
it.
documentary, the Charlie Sheen documentary.
Well,
Well,
I watched the first episode.
I think you would fucking love it. Like, it's,
No, I will, because
yeah.
I love crack cocaine.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like it straight away.
And you know what? He doesn't. I don't know about your experience now. Obviously, it's everyone to their own or whatever. But he talks about the bad, but he also tells people about the good. He's like, don't get me wrong. There's sometimes I think one night would be fucking great to be back.
So do I, yeah.
Do you know? Like,
Yeah,
I didn't want to
think
say
that every day.
Right now.
I could neck me next show for one night only.
Yeah,
Sit
yeah.
on the bleeding stage, smoking crack and telling jokes.
Let us be there, will you?
Yeah, when you hear this one. So anyway,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
yeah, just doing all stuff you've never done, like drinking, because I've never drank a bottle of Wicked in my life either, or Smirnoff Ice.
Have you not? No.
Or Koppenberg. No, just drinking a bottle of this and then just doing another piece of material. By the end of the show, we just getting carted off on a trolley like a man now bleeding silence of the lambs.
That's a fucking good idea.
It is.
What would your price be to do something like that? You could be given some production
I
company.
couldn't, lads. If I done that show, you'd never see me again. You wouldn't. You'd be gone in about 5 years' time. You'd be, yeah, man, Willa. He was a mad cunt, wasn't he?
Remember
the show?
He's still doing
I
it.
don't know where he is, yeah. Still doing it, but not for money anymore. Doing it on Henry Street. We're watching a pair of shoes on him.
He used to be in the gaiety, now he's outside it.
Oh, stop his
fucking-
gas, wasn't he?
Oh, man. But he was, do you know what else is in it? And this isn't breaking the fucking, this is not the way he had HIV.
Yeah.
So you know the way people say, like, Mick Jagger and all, not the way there's rumours about him and he's just get any girl in the world he wants.
Yeah.
And then not the way there's a load of rumours he went off of fellas.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you've done, you can get any woman you want, the next level is to go up to there.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen actually said it's,
Came out and said,
yeah, he said it's actually, drugs does that to you. He said when you're smoking cocaine, or crack cocaine, whatever the fuck, he said that actually triggers something in your mind sexually. That's a mad one, isn't it?
I didn't
They
trigger.
do what you will,
I've got to
like.
be quite honest, man. I never triggered that for me sexually. I like crack. I explained. I said this the other day with we had Get Better with Chris on the podcast, and I was saying to explain what it's like to smoke crack cocaine for someone that's never smoked crack cocaine. It's like when you take that first hit off the pipe, right? Like the first one. It's like you're after winning the fucking Euro Millions. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
And when you're coming down, it's like the fucking tickets after getting robbed on you.
oh,
You're like, oh, because it's horrible. Like, it's like really, really. The high is great, but after you have the first pipe, the second pipe
You never
isn't
get to
like
that
the first
point.
pipe. So you're
Yeah.
chasing what you've done first, and the insanity of it is thinking that you're gonna get back there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like jumping out of a bleeding aeroplane and then being 3,000 foot back and thinking that you're able to somehow get back up to the aeroplane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's never going to happen. Like, it's physically impossible. And that's what crack cocaine does to you, you know?
Yeah.
It fucks you up, like.
So
let you
Chase,
wait a while and then do it again, maybe. No,
It's still not, it's still not the same, but the next day you do it, if you've come back to come down again,
yeah,
the hit is as good on the first pipe, but it's just never as
never
good.
get the.
Like, even if you've 10 pipes after that, it's not as good.
Yeah.
And you're literally just up and you're down, like.
Yeah.
It's not as if you're up there for ages, you know?
yeah, well, I see the way you're obviously fucking hilarious, like on stage, off stage, just talking with you, you're full of the banter, like you're so quick and all. When you were all your worst years and all, were you still like that?
Yeah, no, there was times obviously where you'd isolate and you wouldn't, like if you were sick or anything like that going through withdrawals, you wouldn't be fucking, pardon the pun, much crack. So, no, but I always kind of was always chatty, always kind of witty, always funny type of thing. Since I was a kid, I think it was a great deflection for what was going on in my life when I was a child, to be funny and pretend that everything was all right at home or whatever when it really wasn't. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like kind of living the life of a chameleon. Like it was just
A chameleon.
Yeah, come a chameleon. Living like a kind of a bleeding double-sided life. Because everybody where I lived in the estate where I lived thought that everything was grand in my gaff. Do you know what I mean? When it wasn't, it was chaos. Like, you know what I mean? Because my man and dad had good jobs and we materialistically we looked grand, like we weren't scraggy or fucking dirty or anything like that. We'd all the bleeding, the nice clothes and the stuff like that, but the gaff was just chaos, like. Do you know what I mean? And there was no love and there was no affection, which is two things that any child needs growing up. Do you know what I mean? So we hadn't got that, and how can you get love and affection from somebody who didn't get it themselves, like? Do you know what I mean? So my dad didn't know how to give it. My ma was kind of singled out as a child when she was 9, and she was like treated as the black sheep of the family, even though she wasn't. She was dyslexic. She didn't know she was dyslexic. She got bet in school for being stupid when she wasn't stupid. She was just dyslexic because none of that stuff was diagnosed all them years.
How would you say that then, and then you're able to give love and affection to your kids? You think you can just understand it?
Because I kind of learned when I was a kid, because I knew by going into other people's homes and that what love and affection was. Like
legally now, legally going into other people's homes.
No, do you know what I mean? Like I just knew, and I suppose when my first daughter came along, I knew to myself that my daughter would never endure or go through what I went through as a kid, like, and I made sure of that.
Do you think it's just that's kind of, I don't know, like now the times there are now where there would have been like 50 years ago? Because obviously you just said there your dad kind of went through that, so why didn't he have that mentality of like, my kids aren't going to go through what I went through? I don't think people thought like that back then, did they?
I think what you're saying is, because back then, you hear hurt people, so that's what his dad would have done, and you're saying, why didn't he follow that? Why did you go the opposite? What makes someone do the opposite? Like, why didn't your dad say, I don't want him to go through what I went through? I
think mainly because time changes things and time evolves.
There probably wasn't much self-reflection and stuff like that.
No, but just I think things got different. As you grow up, you see a different side of things, and you realise, unlike my dad's generation, that it's not actually okay to knock the bollocks out of your wife or your partner or anything like that. It doesn't become, do you know what I mean? It's not as normalised or as normal as it was back then in the 70s or the early 80s. Do you understand me? Like baiting your kids. Like, you can fucking bash your kids in the 70s and 80s and get away with it.
Yeah.
Put your hands on your kids now, fucking twos at your door in 5 minutes. Or do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So time evolves. It changes. And for someone that grew up in a home full of violence, I was never violent. I was, even as a kid, I was always a joker. That was my fucking armour for me, was like that I was funny. I was never into violence. I was never into trouble. I hated bullies growing up. I hated seeing kids getting bullied. So I always had a soft spot for the kid that was getting bullied.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I always kind of fucking tried to protect him. Or
that was like me, Willa, and now we're friends. I protected him in school, and then we just became best friends.
Yeah, well, come here. But that's sometimes what happens. So I always have kind of a soft spot for people that are being treated badly, and I suppose, I just, without kind of fucking bigging myself up or anything like that, I still have a soft spot for people that are suffering on hard times.
Yeah. And
give a little bit back and try help someone. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And I've got some really nice messages over the years on Instagram and off people that I've done so much for them, and I fucking, look, if I was to stop doing what I'm doing today, like stop doing comedy and stop doing everything, the solace and the fucking gratitude I take from leaving them messages alone without doing anything else would be really just enough to say that, I've made a fucking difference somewhere to somebody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then come here, I'm not full of the joys of life all the times as well. It can be fucking difficult to live with, and I can say the wrong things sometimes, or I can do the wrong things. But I mean, Come here, I'm only fucking human, like.
Yeah.
As long as you admit that, that's okay.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
like,
well,
you don't have to be trying to pretend to be happy all the time.
That's the biggest part.
Yeah, because
You know,
there's
there's
no
no
take it out
point
on other
in-
people then.
Yeah, well, there's no point in, you know, pretending to be, if you're going through difficult fucking times or you've done something wrong, you got to admit it, like.
Yeah, exactly. Because some people, what they do is they'll pretend or try to portray themselves as happy all the time, and then they'll take it out on other people. Do you know, that sort of way? Or if someone isn't on the same level as them, they'll try act like it's their
I think he's
fault.
talking about me, Will, I hear.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he is. He's talking about other people, aren't you?
No,
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
talking. No. Do you know what? We have this argument all the time, Willa, and I can understand. Do you?
I don't think it's an argument. I think it's more of
Truth.
an assessment
Yeah,
and an
yeah.
observation.
Yes.
Do you know what though? The last few years he's put me up on stuff before that he picks out on me, and I'm like, do you know what? That's true.
But if it's all right to be wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's learning and being wrong and learning and doing the wrong things, but it's taking the lesson and the learning from it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like, it's like that when people say they're sorry all the time for doing it. I say, look, show me you're sorry. Don't tell me that you're sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think you're really sorry if you keep doing the same
not in
thing
a
all the
sexual
time.
way.
No, what I'm saying.
Like, show me you're sorry, but not in a
yeah,
sexual way, unless you want to, though.
Yeah,
And not, yeah?
Yeah.
I do say that as well. So.
Wait, is he talking about me?
definitely talking about you. Is he fucking not talking about me? He's not my type.
But yeah, even with as you're saying there, sorry, I obviously listen to loads on podcasts and all, right? And you were saying people reach out to you. I assume you're saying people in recovery. But
No.
that's what I was about to say to you.
Not only people in recovery, ordinary people. You know,
I have, you've said stuff on podcasts that I've resonated with, and I listen to that, and that hits me. Even stuff away from recovery, like, I'm not going to get into a matter here and there, but just family stuff and fucking personal stuff, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that really hits.
yeah, because people identify with what you're talking about. Because I think a lot of people know when you're bullshitting or when you're not telling the truth. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, I just say it as it is. And people, I think if you identify with someone or you resonate with someone, you go have a little bit of a connection with that person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If what they talk about, it kind of hits you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. Like, it's like, none of us are bleeding, none of us are perfect, and none of us are ever going to be perfect. We're all a work in progress, like, do you know what I mean? And you try to do the best you can, and you get through life and try not to be as selfish and give people a dig out. There's people are struggling, like, there's people caught up in the struggle. I mean, it's grand for me driving across here this morning in my nice car and fucking having a coffee and a pastry when I get here, and some people just haven't got the fortune the stuff of doing that. I mean, you take for granted, like last night, me and my missus went out to a Chinese restaurant and we had a bit of food, and do you know what I mean? I was able to go up and pay for the bill and give the person a tip and that.
Yeah.
Some people just have not got the luxury of doing that in life. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so I'm really, really grateful for what I have in my life. I work hard for what I have in my life as well. If I can help anyone along the line, 100%. Like, there's people going through an awful lot, and I don't mean just financially or with the struggles in life, but there's people going through stuff in life that is fucking really, really tough. Like, you know, I've got a mate of mine. I don't really want to mention him, but he has something on today. that I just can't even comprehend to think about. Like,
How someone can go through that and just...
yeah, like,
still
and this fella has done an awful lot for other people with charity events and stuff like that. And now it's actually knocking on his door. And I kind of think to myself, like, how can that happen? Like, how is it sometimes that people can do so much for other people and help other people, and next of all, it comes back and kicks you in the bollocks in a sense, and you kind of stand there and go, come on, for fuck's sake, give us a break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that none of us are exempt from life on life's terms. Stuff happens in life. Like, if someone had told me, and I say this a lot of times, if someone had told me 24 years ago that, look, you're going to get off drinking drugs, but in the process of doing that, all your family is going to die, I wouldn't have stopped drinking and taking drugs. I'd have kept taking the drugs, because I knew then that when the deaths came along, that I could push down the fucking feelings of the grief and the fucking abandonment and all that with taking drugs. Only temporarily, like.
Yeah.
But to be able to deal with it without drinking and without taking drugs and not having to drink and not having, because you hear people, I went in a mad one because my ma died or whatever. I don't think your ma want you to fucking do that.
True.
No.
I think your ma want you to stand up and be counted and give her a good send-off and get up and say a eulogy that your mother could be proud of, and don't be making a fucking idiot of yourself and going on a bender and sitting in a gaff with people that you don't like for 3 days, like.
Yeah.
I just don't get that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Be responsible and fucking do the right thing what it is to do, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and just be there for people. People when they're struggling and that, like,
Yeah.
We can all get caught up in our own shit and think that it's all about us. Do you know what I mean? Like, realistically, it's not, like. Do you know what I mean? There's other people involved, whether it's family or, you talked about your dad and bleeding, having arguments or whatever. Sometimes it's okay to just let him be right even when he's not, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just go, look.
How much did he fucking pay you to say that?
But you know what I'm saying? Just to go, yeah, Dad, that's sound.
Yeah.
Rather than let it consume you and take your peace of mind and be going, for fuck's sake, just go, grand, sound.
I don't do that with my dad. I do it with my man now. It'd stop me. I'd say to my dad, fuck off. I couldn't do it to my dad. My man now I wouldn't argue with. My dad sometimes, it's different with your dad. Sometimes you're like, fuck you, I'm going to get the last word in here. Like.
Yeah, but it's mad when you think about it because you don't realise that your dad was once your age. Like, we think a lot of times growing up that,
this is his first time being
you know what I mean? Like, being a parent is a really, really tough job, and it's mad because you'll only realise when you're telling your kids exactly what your dad was telling you that your dad was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, let that resonate with you for a minute, like, because you don't.
I've missed that completely, to be honest.
No, what I'm saying, by the time you're telling your children what your dad was telling you as a kid, you then realise that your dad was actually right.
Yeah, true.
That's what I was saying to you earlier on. Sometimes it's okay just to say to him, do you know what, you're actually right. Even though in your head you're probably thinking that he's not.
But what's
the difference, like, whether he's right or whether he's bleeding wrong, like.
Yeah.
And what all I'm saying to you is, come here, they're not here forever. They're like home store and more. Looking when they're gone, like. That's it. There's no replacing them.
That terrifies me.
So make the most of them while they're here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's mad. It's scary.
It is scary. When I think of anything like that,
who's gonna wash your clothes and all, bro? Like, who make your bed when you, like, do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Make your bed.
Like, who's gonna make your dinner?
Well, he moved out of his gaff for about 2 years and you haven't heard the end of him, man.
I moved out twice.
When
I moved out when I was 19. I moved out, didn't I?
He moved
out
Malta.
the back.
Yeah. That's me when I moved back.
He moved to Malta. Yeah, I moved to a different country.
Yeah, but with loads of people, like.
Yeah, but there's loads of people in every country you moved to.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Carla, what
How long did you go to Malta for?
I worked with the company I'm working with now.
He didn't ask you that. He said, how long did you go for?
I didn't hear him. I thought he said, what'd you go to Malta for?
I think we should do a bleeding fundraiser to get him a couple of hair mates.
I think so.
6 months I was gone for.
Were you?
Yeah. It's good.
I went to live in London when I was 16 years of age, jumped on the boat, fucked off.
Yeah, that's mad. Like, at 16 years of age.
Here.
I was 93 years old.
Here. No mobile phone. No house phone in the gaff. Just gone. Can you imagine your 16-year-old just gone?
No,
do
you want to hear the story?
With no connection. And come here, I wasn't big into writing letters either or sending telegrams. And I hadn't got a pigeon to send fucking stuff.
I just had a fucking board of 8 roast potatoes.
Yeah.
I was over there and the 2 lads I was living with went back to Dublin. So I was on my own and I had €150 left and I wasn't paid for 3 weeks and I bought a ticket for Creamfields out of that €150 and for 3 weeks.
Best decision you'll ever make.
For 3 weeks I had nothing. There wasn't even cereal in the gaff. And I don't like asking people for money or anything like that. So I built up the courage. I asked one of the lads for €50. He gave me €50 and we went out and we got dinner that night and cocktails and spent all the €50. And then I had no money for 2 weeks. I used to go out with people. People would be saying, I'm going for food after work. And I'd go with them hoping I'd get the end of their chips.
Oh my God.
That, what you done there, would be like a dream day for me when I was on drugs. I'll tell you, one of my days, I ate out of a bin and I seen a half a sandwich on a bus stop and I ate it.
Did you do that? Yeah.
And I picked up cigarette butts off the ground and I smoked them. You're telling me you went out with a meal and cocktails? Fuck off. That's exactly what I say to that. out for a meal and cocktails.
He was looking for sympathy and all he was.
Fucking hell, man. I was crawling the streets of London on me bollocks.
And he was in nice Malta, by the way, not London.
Would you be a picky eater?
He just told
Not
you.
when you're fucking starving, you're not.
Say though, if you got a sandwich and it was tomato on it, would
Fucking
you
couldn't
take
give a
it?
bollocks what was on it. There was fucking concrete and stones on it.
Oh yeah, over bin. Now tell us, Will, were you a picky eater?
You said that you went for a Chinese last night. What's your Chinese order?
I was going to ask him that.
What did I have last night? So for starters, I had.
Can we guess?
Yeah.
Can we
For starters,
guess?
I had
He's gonna go anyway.
chili. I had like a chili chicken in a honey sauce with
Oh, yeah.
veg, and then for main course, I had.
Chicken.
Me missus got the prawn curry, and she got chips with that, and I had beef black bean with fried rice, and we just shared it between us.
I love shit there.
And I had we had Pellegrino sparkling water.
Oh,
Oh, this
Jesus.
fucking-
Yeah,
Someone's
yeah,
changed.
telling you.
What's that about?
And that was it. Our daughter was gone to a match, and we just had a gap in the window for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we just went down. We had I'd never been in the. Excuse me, I'd never been in the Chinese restaurant before, so we just went in the car. It was raining, so we'll drive down.
In any Chinese restaurant?
No, I've been in loads
Oh,
of
that
Chinese
one. That
restaurants.
one you haven't been in. Alright.
Favourite Chinese restaurant in Dublin?
Where?
Are we going restaurant or shop?
Restaurant.
Are we guessing yours? Are you going to tell us
I'm
yours?
going to put you onto it, yeah. If
Oi.
you've never been there, it's
We'll-
Good
we'll-
World on Georgia Street.
Good World on George. I don't know that.
Right
Oh, no.
beside the George's Arcade. You know where the George's Arcade
Yeah.
is? Next door to that.
Really?
Never
Yeah.
even.
Best Chinese in
Is
Dublin,
it?
in my opinion, yeah.
We need
It's
to
probably,
go
there
there.
could be better. There probably is.
I like
Yeah.
Wong's and Blanche. Do you ever try that one? Restaurant.
No, I haven't, no.
Fairly
No.
nice.
He actually
Fairly
talks
nice.
about it all the time. We need to go.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I'm not. Where do I like restaurant was? Oh, we just got our local.
Swan
Really.
City,
Swan
yeah.
City, you know, Jim, Swan City there.
Them Wongs used to own the Chinese, or used to own the dry cleaners.
Did they?
It never took off, like. Those two Wongs couldn't make it why.
We just all shut up there. We were like waiting for the joke.
I knew, yeah, go on.
No,
That's
try
that's a
good.
good joke you could have.
Try, yeah, you can
Your
use that
parents
one,
were
yeah.
two Wongs.
You can use that one.
Because you're a white.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
parents are
Two Wongs.
Wongs.
Two
Wongs
Wongs
did
make
make
a
a
white,
white.
yeah.
Well, write that down with that.
All
No,
right,
I
hang
didn't
on.
Have that.
Give us an imaginary pen. No, that's a great Chinese.
You have been, have you?
Or I've been to the...
No,
No,
he's
I'm
talking
saying
about
the one
the
about
George's Arcade.
Good World, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know when you always know a good Chinese restaurant, and I know it's a bit mad?
I know what you're going to say. They don't take card.
No, when you see... when you go into a Chinese and there's loads of Chinese people eating in it,
True, yeah.
What, that's
and
not
the one in Good World always has loads of Chinese in it.
really.
Yeah.
And their menu is a little bit different than the bleeding one we get with the special curry and all. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they
have
eat
art-
some
like
mad
proper-
stuff like. But
Sure.
I'd literally try anything to eat. Is there anything you wouldn't eat like?
Oh, we'd be picky. Or
No. Shut your fucking mouth.
Oh,
What are you
Jesus.
eating?
Would you?
Yeah.
Go on,
try
prove
it.
Would you eat? Would you? Here,
That was my dad.
here, live on the show. Come here. Would you eat snails?
I love to try them. I like
I
mussels.
ate them in thing a few weeks ago.
France?
I ate snails. Yeah, I'd eat frogs' legs as well.
Yeah, I'd love to try them. They look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like chicken. They look
Now,
really nice.
snails now, I wouldn't. I don't think I could do that. What was it like?
They were actually all right. They come
Alrighty.
like with a garlic kind of sauce and that. Yeah.
See, you're just eating the sauce really, and it takes it away, kind of.
Well, I was like the texture and like
Mussels are
eating
nice.
them
They
and that.
taste like, they're like snots, but they're nice.
No, I like mussels and I like winkles. Do you ever eat winkles? Do
They're like snots as well.
you ever
aren't
eat
they?
pig's feet?
Never.
No.
Any of
Pig's
these.
tails?
My
Do
granddad used to eat pig's feet.
you ever eat ox tongue?
No,
Do you ever eat liver, kidneys, heart?
no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, all that game, man.
Did you? Yeah.
What about testicles?
I'd give them a go. I ate them I ate them in prison. Some are saltier than others. Picking the hair out of your teeth.
Oh, fucking hell.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so no, I would. Most stuff I'd eat. Like I wouldn't be really picky.
Yeah,
Like from
I'd
all
try
types of cuisine. Like from-
crickets and all. Would you try all that shit? And
give anything a go. I would do really well on that. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
oh, the
Would you?
eyeball thing. That fish
Yeah.
eyeball wouldn't be.
Or I'd do
into that.
any of that gear. Wouldn't I'd come out? I'd Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you do it?
Next
Yeah,
time we have it on. We
maybe
have to have.
if they had something called I'm nearly a celebrity.
Now, next time we have you in, we'll make sure we have
Yeah.
a
No, I
platter.
would. I'd give it a go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
All them things and all that. I'd adapt.
What about a shuffle of his toenails?
Yeah, if the price was right.
Sorry, I just thought it'd be a bit say
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
With a bit of fungal infection sauce.
What would you do if you got asked to do a show? Any show you wanted to right now, what would you pick?
If I could do any show I wanted it.
They said to you, come on, Willa, choice is yours.
Any show on the telly. Well, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing that Traitors and anyway.
You wouldn't be doing it?
No,
Why not?
because I don't watch it.
We reckon
It's not my thing, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, he's
it's
all
going
watching
on
it.
this evening.
Oh, I'm hooked.
I
It's
is.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Hooked.
Your man was on the late last night.
Yeah, what's that? I'm hooked. Me and
Who
my
was
man.
on it?
Your man Party.
One of the,
The outfit. Everyone loves him.
No, Paulie. No.
he was like this character everyone fucking loved, but he got built.
Right. No, that wouldn't appeal to me at all now. Now, come here. If I was asked to go on it, I'd go on it, but it's not something I'd watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's not something I'd go, oh, I really want to go on that.
Yeah, yeah.
If I could go on anything at all on television, I would. Jeez, that's a bleeding great question.
I'd say you'd be good on Taskmaster. Do you watch that?
I know the two lads.
The Greg Davis and your man. What's the other
yeah.
fella?
Met him a
Alex
couple of
Horne.
times, yeah.
Yeah,
Alex is
yeah.
a lovely fella.
He's the one who runs that.
Yeah.
He
Two great stand-ups.
I've never seen him. I didn't
Yeah,
stand up.
Ting Davis is a smashing stand-up comedian. He's been in loads of stuff.
Yeah.
What would I like to go on?
Class.
I would like to go on.
Do you know what I could see you doing, Whopper? With your family or friends or whatever, the family fortunes.
Who would I be on? I'll be on my own, for fuck's sake.
I'm out.
Cardboard cut out me dad, my sister, and me man. Be like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, do you want to answer that one? No, my dad doesn't want to answer. Hang on, I asked my sister. Susan, do you want to answer that? Family bleeding fortunes. Family fucking orphans. Fucking hell. You'll be brilliant on family
But I was going to say,
I tell you, I'd like to go on
good.
something like 9 out of 10 cats or something kind of comedy thing. Or I'd definitely do
I'm a Celebrity.
The Jungle, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, some cracking that.
Yeah, I'd love to do. I remember Andrew Maxwell done it, didn't he?
Who's that?
You don't know who Andrew Maxwell is?
No.
Oh, lad, stop that.
No.
Please.
You stop that.
Andrew Maxwell is he's a brilliant comedian.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been in London since he's 17. He's sold out loads of stuff in Edinburgh. And
Fuck.
he's great. He's from Kilbarrack. Fucking great comedian.
not on
Google
the scene.
Andrew
Yeah,
Maxwell.
need to look him up. Need to look
He
him
was
up.
on I'm a Celebrity.
Was he?
Yeah.
Maxwell.
He had a bit of trouble with Ian Wright on it.
Did he?
Only
Him and
recently.
Ian Wright had a bit of bleeding, had a bit of fucking, a bit of a tiff. Yeah.
Did he? I
Yeah.
remember Ian Wright here. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I need to
Andrew
look-
Maxwell, yeah, he was on. Have a look at it when we finish here, have a look, yeah. But I'd give that a go, or if there was anything else after that, oh, Jesus.
Or even because obviously you did a like a show and all, your own show. Would you like to do like a actual acting on telly, like whatever that's called, TV acting or something?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
That show, would you like to see yourself in?
Yeah, I would. I'd like to. I've auditioned for loads of stuff. I auditioned for The Gentleman that's on Netflix at the moment. You know the series, The
Did you?
Gentleman, yeah. I auditioned for Brassic. You know, Brassic's
Oh,
on
yeah,
Channel
the-
4. I've auditioned for quite a few things. But I would, yeah. I'd love to do a bit of acting.
Yeah.
I'd love to even do another play again. I'd love to
Yeah.
go back and do live theatre is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
wish we went
really,
to
really
that one
good.
that you had. We were doing something that when you had that one on. We
That
were
was
going to
amazing.
go.
Examination.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to do come here, I didn't get fair seat, you go.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric.
Yeah, I'd give it a
Have they
shot.
reached out to you, Eric, or not? Come on.
No,
What
they
sort of
haven't.
character do you think you'd be on that?
I wouldn't like to be typecasted. I'd like to do something that's completely out of my comfort zone. I'd like to play someone that's really posh or
Is
someone
man.
that's...
Really?
Yeah, definitely, because I'm typecasted. The
Give us
stuff
a
that
posh
I've done...
accent there.
Give you a posh accent?
Yes, please, sir.
Hello, how are you?
That's all right.
Yes,
Well,
my
a posh
name...
Irish accent. Like D4. 'Cause that's kind of English.
yeah, so I was like, so yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
I
Willa.
can see it.
I
I
can.
can see
Yeah,
it.
maybe. Who knows, you know?
We'd be the opposite in age.
The opposite.
No, I'd like to do something kind of, Yeah, a film would be great.
Yeah, it'd be
We'd
unreal.
to do a film or something like that, yeah.
And is it something you've thrown out feelers to people, or?
No, not really. I think you need an agent for stuff like that. Look, you get asked to do stuff every now and again, but like I went in there for something there. Richard Carlin was doing something with a guy that was actually a comedian, was directing it. It's going to be on. It's getting filmed this year. I didn't get that either, but I mean, you've got to have a tough neck if you're going for parts.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's rejection all the time. And
Yeah,
then somewhere along the line you might get something. Kind of lucky with the Savage Eye because Dave McSavage knew me.
Yeah.
And I was doing stuff in that, like got a few parts in that. But that was just because he knew me and there was no auditions. It was like, just come down.
Yeah.
So I got a few funny things in that, which was really, really good. Like.
There's nothing like that anymore. That'd be fucking... What?
Sorry, my phone went off.
There's nothing like that anymore now, isn't there? Not like the Savage Joy or that, like, ever since. That was probably the last one, really, wasn't it?
It needs a...
Bring it back.
RT needs a really, really good comedy.
Yeah, big time. Absolutely.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
You
Do you know
a
what?
good duo to host it or like to be the front faces of it. Maybe one of them, they have cartoons done and they have the same watches on and one of them looks slimmer in the cartoon than he does in real life.
Yeah, it's a great motivational picture though.
Huh. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course I know. I do know exactly what you're talking. Not like fucking you.
He said it.
Fucking sorry, I didn't hear that.
You just look at me as if
Jesus
you
Christ.
don't know what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying.
exactly what you're saying. Talking about that.
Do you know what?
Don't worry, I know I might think look at him and bleeding
No,
on the
it's just
sixth
when
stratosphere like sometimes
Just
like
when
that,
you
but I
talk
do
to me,
hear.
I just think you don't like me.
He'd be here for 10 minutes to get with that.
I do that sometimes. Like my missus would be talking to me and I'd be like that, you know what I mean? I'd be bleeding some. She'd go, hello, come back.
Yeah,
Are you there?
yeah.
And sometimes I'd be just gone.
Just
like,
thinking,
thinking of other stuff. Like, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I've done now on the podcast lately, and I see myself when I'm watching it back? You know when you have a guest on yourself even and there's someone telling like a long story, but you're really listening, but then you just end up looking into this because you're so into it, you're not even looking at them. I was just looking in the corner, there's clips of me and I'm just like this. Because I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Gee, does that make sense with that, no?
That's because I'm talking about a mat and you're looking at the mat and the floor going,
Never seen that before.
That could be it. That could be it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a fucking legend, man.
He is a
You're a
legend.
legend.
Oh, it's great to come over. Come here, it's great. I'm glad I got over. Yeah, come here. Look, I wish you all the best.
Thanks,
with the
Alan.
podcast and with everything that you
Same
do.
to you. Like, keep doing what you're doing and it's going to play off eventually. You'll get there.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I knew I'd come over here for something.
Dying to say that the whole
I knew I'd
time.
come over.
Yeah, well, I had 1 year as well. Couldn't have been better.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
a million.
Yeah, not a bother. I'm just bleeding, you know. I'm looking forward to going home. It'll take me about 3 days to get home.
Now, we've said it to a few guests now, but a year ago, a year ago we recorded our first podcast and then we sat on it for a couple of weeks because we were nervous to put it out. But even then, we said we had a list of about
6 or 7.
6 or 7 people that we said we want to have on. Like
We'd love to
And
have
if
on.
anybody asks me for any advice coming over here, did you say, what would you reckon I should do? And I'd say, just have a full tank of petrol in the car. So once you have that,
Tell you what,
like
the best-
once you have that, you're halfway there.
Well, you're a fucking gentleman.
No, but lads, thanks for having us.
When
here.
is your show out for whoever?
The 3rd of November.
There
It's
you
out. Dead Man Talking.
We'll be there as well.
We'll be there.
Yeah, be there.
Yeah.
Be there.
Be there. Well, legend. Thanks a million, man.
No,
Thanks
but
very much.
Do a little. That's how we usually end it.